On March 16, 934, Meng Zhixiang, a former general of the later Tang dynasty, declared himself emperor and established the later Shu as an independent state in what is now Sichuan province, China. Prior to this, Meng had served as the military governor of Sichuan Circuit under the later Tang but rebelled due to political tensions. His reign was short-lived, as he died on September 7, 934, and was succeeded by his son Meng Chong. On March 16, 1621, Samoset, an Abenaki Sagamore, boldly entered the Plymouth colony settlement and greeted the surprised pilgrims in English, saying, "Welcome, Englishmen." He had learned English from fishermen off the coast of Maine. Samoset's visit marked the first friendly contact between the Native Americans and the pilgrims, paving the way for future cooperation. On March 16, 1802, the United States Congress authorized the establishment of the Army Corps of Engineers. This legislation also led to the founding of the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York, which became a premier institution for training military leaders and engineers. On March 16, 1815, Prince Willem of Orange-Nassau proclaimed himself King Willem I of the newly formed United Kingdom of the Netherlands. This act established the first constitutional monarchy in the Netherlands, uniting the northern and southern regions after the defeat of Napoleon. On March 16, 1872, the Wanderers Football Club won the inaugural FA Cup, the world's oldest football competition, by defeating the Royal Engineers AFC 1-0. The match took place at the Oval in Kennington, London, marking a significant milestone in the history of football. On March 16, 1918, during the Finnish Civil War, the Battle of Lankipoja occurred. The White forces captured the village from the Reds, and the aftermath became infamous for the execution of 70 to 100 surrendered Red fighters, highlighting the brutal nature of the conflict. On March 16, 1926, physicist Robert H. Goddard successfully launched the world's first liquid-fueled rocket in Auburn, Massachusetts. This pioneering event marked the beginning of modern rocketry and space exploration. On March 16, 1935, Adolf Hitler announced the reintroduction of conscription in Germany, violating the Treaty of Versailles. This move led to the formation of the Wehrmacht and marked a significant step toward World War II. On March 16, 1939, from Prague Castle, Adolf Hitler declared the regions of Bohemia and Moravia as a German protectorate. This action effectively dissolved Czechoslovakia and expanded Nazi Germany's territory. On March 16, 1945, British bombers conducted a devastating air raid on Würzburg, Germany, destroying approximately 90% of the city in just 20 minutes. The attack resulted in at least 4,000 deaths and left tens of thousands homeless. On March 16, 1966, NASA launched Gemini 8, crewed by astronauts Neil Armstrong and David Scott. The mission achieved the first docking of 2 spacecraft in orbit, a critical milestone in the lead-up to lunar missions. On March 16, 1978, former Italian Prime Minister Aldo Moro was kidnapped in Rome by members of the Red Brigades, a far-left terrorist organization. During the abduction on Via Fani, his 5 bodyguards were killed. Moro was held captive for 55 days, during which the Red Brigades demanded the release of imprisoned members in exchange for his life. The Italian government refused to negotiate, adhering to a strict no-negotiation policy. On May 9, 1978, Moro's body was discovered in the trunk of a red Renault 4 parked on Via Michelangelo Caetani in Rome, symbolically located between the headquarters of the Christian Democracy and the Italian Communist Party. He had been shot multiple times by his captors. On March 16, 1978, the supertanker Amico Cadiz, owned by Amico Transport Corp., ran aground on Portsall Rocks, approximately 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles off the coast of Brittany, France. The vessel, operating under the Liberian flag, was transporting crude oil for Shell Oil when it encountered mechanical failure during a severe storm. Efforts to tow the ship to safety were unsuccessful, leading to its grounding. The Amico Cadiz eventually split into 3 parts and sank, resulting in the largest oil spill of its kind at that time. The spill caused extensive environmental damage along the Brittany coastline, affecting marine life and local industries. On March 16, 1984, William Francis Buckley, the CIA station chief in Beirut, Lebanon, was kidnapped by Hezbollah militants. Buckley was held captive and subjected to torture during his imprisonment. Despite efforts to secure his release, he died in captivity, with his death believed to have occurred in June 1985. His abduction highlighted the perilous situation in Lebanon during the 1980s and underscored the risks faced by intelligence personnel in conflict zones. On March 16, 1985, Terry Anderson, the chief Middle East correspondent for the Associated Press, was abducted by Shiite militants in Beirut, Lebanon. Anderson was held hostage for nearly 7 years, making him the longest-held American hostage in Lebanon. He was finally released on December 4, 1991. His prolonged captivity drew international attention to the issue of hostage-taking in the Middle East. On March 16, 1988, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North and Vice Admiral John Poindexter were indicted on charges related to the Iran-Contra affair. The charges included conspiracy to defraud the United States by illegally selling arms to Iran and diverting the proceeds to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua. The indictments were part of a broader investigation into the scandal, which had significant political repercussions for the Reagan administration. On March 16, 1988, during the conflict in Northern Ireland, known as the Troubles, Ulster loyalist Michael Stone attacked a funeral at Milltown Cemetery in Belfast. The funeral was for 3 provisional IRA members killed in Gibraltar. Stone used pistols and grenades in the assault, resulting in the deaths of 3 individuals, including 1 IRA member, and injuries to more than 60 others. The attack intensified sectarian tensions and violence in the region. On March 16, 1995, the state of Mississippi formally ratified the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which abolished slavery. Although the amendment was officially ratified in 1865, Mississippi had initially rejected it and did not officially record its ratification until 130 years later. This act was largely symbolic, acknowledging the state's historical stance on slavery. On March 16, 2005, Israel officially transferred control of the West Bank town of Jericho to the Palestinian Authority. This move was part of a series of measures aimed at reviving the peace process between Israelis and Palestinians. The handover marked a step toward greater Palestinian self-governance in certain areas of the West Bank. On March 16, 2012, Indian cricketer Sachin Tendulkar became the first player in history to score 100 international centuries. He achieved this milestone during an Asia Cup match against Bangladesh in Dhaka. Tendulkar's unprecedented feat solidified his status as one of cricket's greatest batsmen. On March 16, 2014, a controversial referendum was held in Crimea, resulting in a majority vote to secede from Ukraine and join the Russian Federation. The referendum, conducted under the presence of Russian military forces, was deemed illegal by the Ukrainian government and widely condemned by the international community. Subsequently, Russia annexed Crimea, leading to ongoing geopolitical tensions. On March 16, 2020, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted by 2,997.10 points, marking the largest single-day point drop in its history. The index fell by 12.93%, the second largest percentage drop ever, surpassing the decline seen during the Black Monday crash of 1929.